KOTV 6, Tulsa. This is the News on 6, the 5 o'clock edition, with Glenda Sylvie, Robert Joffe, health reporter Wendy Burkeen, and meteorologist Mike Anderson.
I will resign as Speaker of the House, effective upon the election of my successor.
House Speaker Jim Wright says he doesn't want the controversy surrounding him to damage Congress, so he has resigned. Good evening, I'm Robert Joffe.
And I'm Glenda Sylvie. In his speech this afternoon, Wright said he would never knowingly or intentionally violate House ethics rules. He said he is convinced he is right, but added all of us are prone to human error. With that, the Speaker of the House offered to step down.
Let me give you back this job you gave to me as a propitiation for all of this season of bad will that has grown up among us. Give it back.
Wright has been under investigation since last year for violating House ethic rules. He was reelected as House Speaker in January of this year. Now he is not only stepping down from the top post, but he also plans to leave the House.
Offer to resign from the House sometime before the end of June. Let that be a total payment for the anger and hostility we feel toward each other. Let's not try to get even with each other.
Wright said serving as House Speaker is the grandest opportunity any lawmaker could receive.
Now, with Wright's resignation, it's expected that House Majority Leader Thomas Foley will be the new House Speaker. And it's likely many will be jockeying for positions as the House leadership changes. One of those looking for a top spot is Oklahoma Congressman Mike Sinar. Sinar and Representative Dave McCurdy have been asked to take a leadership role. McCurdy says he's not interested, but Sinar says he would consider vying for the number 4 position. Pennsylvania Congressman William Gray is also trying to move up in the House leadership, but sources say the FBI is checking allegations of payroll padding on his staff. Gray denies any wrongdoing and says someone made up the story to ruin his chances of advancement in Congress.
President Bush is in London today, meeting with Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Both leaders just returned from the NATO summit, which endorsed Bush's call for talks with the Soviets on cutting short-range nuclear arms in Europe. Earlier today, Bush told the crowd in West Germany the communists must tear down the Berlin Wall.
But the passion for freedom cannot be denied forever. The world has waited long enough. The time is right. Let Europe be whole and free.
But Bush stressed the goal is not to undermine the Soviets' legitimate security interests.
The state of Oklahoma is going after people who aren't making their child support payments. Oklahoma's first 10 most wanted list will go out tomorrow to newspapers, television, and radio stations across the state. The state doesn't want the 10 most wanted dead or alive, but alive, well, and working to catch up on overdue child support payments. Warrants have been issued for the arrest of everyone on the list. Oklahoma has one of the nation's worst records for child support collection. Oklahoma City police are looking for a man in his early 30s in connection with the shooting death of a convenience store clerk. The man was seen leaving in a hurry from the store this morning before the body of Marion Darnell Caldwell was discovered. Police say Caldwell was shot during an apparent robbery.
Fire and rescue crews were put to the test at the Phillips research plant in Bartlesville today. There wasn't a major accident, at least not a real one. Laura Brewster reports.
Today began much like any other day at the Phillips Research Center. That is, until a worker supposedly noticed a problem touching off a mock drill.
I'm at 83F. I just noticed smoke coming out of the catalyst house at 82F. I noticed 2 operators going in. I think we have an emergency.
Within minutes, emergency workers were checking the scene and announcing that a hazardous material was leaking inside a building. More crews then quickly rolled in.
The 2 nozzles right here.
Crews then went to work rescuing people supposedly overcome by fumes. After that, firefighters took center stage, dousing a make-believe hazardous materials fire. Then, Bartlesville firefighters and medical teams arrived to help out. The rescue drill even called for ambulance crews to take the mock victims to a Bartlesville hospital for treatment. There are several smaller emergency drills held here every year, but it's been 4 years since there was a drill of this magnitude. The entire drill was recorded by Phillips crews to determine if procedures need to be changed. They say initial results look good.
From our assessment, it appeared everything worked. Few communication breakdowns with some of the radios, but those are very easy bugs to get out of the system.
They hope these procedures never have to be used in a real emergency, but they say they'll be ready if necessary. Laura Brewster, Channel 6 News.
And it's good to know they're ready.
It is.
Well, still ahead, the Surgeon General recommends restrictions on alcohol to cut down on drunk driving.
And in our Parenting 101 report, we look at life as an only child.
With all the demands placed on women today, it's hard to make time for their health. That's why Hillcrest developed the Centers for Women's Health in Tulsa and Broken Arrow. The centers give women a full range of personalized services and programs, a single resource for all your health care needs. But most importantly, the Hillcrest Centers for Women's Health are designed to cater exclusively to the special needs of women. Isn't it nice to know we're here when you need us?
Introducing Lifetime Premium from Highland Dairy. Today, it's the only way to go.
Yeah, you want great taste that won't go to your waste. Oh, ain't it great now? You've seen the light, so have it your way. Hey, there's no price to pay.
Lifetime. You're living life right. Lifetime Premium. All the taste without all the calories.
Enjoy the great taste that won't go to your waste. Lifetime. You're living life right.
You'd expect to pay $6.99 for this 2-incliner sofa and $5.99 for the love seat. But now at Snow's Furniture, you can buy both pieces for only $5.97. That's right, $5.97 for the 2-incliner sofa and the matching love seat. This is only one of the hundreds of great furniture buys you'll find at Snow's Furniture, Tulsa's #1 furniture volume dealer. We have the quality, the largest selection, and we'll guarantee the lowest prices.
Snow's Furniture.
The top news story of the day continues to be the incredible shrinking woman.
My story began on what seemed to be a perfectly normal day.
But the doctors confirmed it.
You are shrinking.
Lily Tomlin stars as Pat Kramer.
I'm the shrinking woman!
And her neighbor, Judith Beasley.
Isn't that a comfort?
With cameo appearances by Edith Ann.
What's the accident?
And Ernestine. In the uproarious story of the incredible shrinking woman. Friday night at 10:30 on Channel 6.
Nearly 25,000 Americans died from alcohol-related traffic accidents last year. Today, the Bush administration came out with tough new recommendations to fight drunken driving. Proposals outlined by Surgeon General C. Everett Koop include increasing taxes on all alcoholic beverages, ending happy hours and other price-cutting promotions, restricting ads for alcoholic beverages, and imposing stricter rules on blood alcohol levels for drivers. He's also urging each state to pass laws allowing police to confiscate a driver's license on the spot when a driver's blood alcohol level is over the legal limit.
For many of us, the ideal family is a big family. Mom, dad, a couple of dogs, and lots of kids. But increasingly, the reality is something different. Terry Hood is joining us now with Parenting 101 and a look at one-child families.
Glenda, it used to be that having one child or being an only child was frowned upon. The assumption was that that child would either be spoiled or lonely. But as only children become more common, that assumption is changing. No backyard baseball games for the Hafley family. They stick to sports such as golf that require a minimum of players. 11-year-old Andy is an only child, a decision the Hafleys made after personal tragedy.
We had a son who lived only 3 days, and because I had problems with pregnancy, to have our daughter, I had to be in bed. And since I don't do pregnancy well, and we had already lost a child, we decided that one would be our complete family.
Once the decision was made, the Hafleys accepted it. No regrets, no looking back. Psychologists say that's a crucial step in raising a well-adjusted only child.
A lot of the only child issues are really parent issues.
This meeting at the Shadow Mountain Institute is designed to help parents deal with the problems and potential problems of having an only child. Most of the information is encouraging.
The thing that we're finding out about only children is they tend to be high achievers, they tend to be quite responsible, and they're really starting to overcome the myth of being self-centered, spoiled, rotten brats.
But there are pitfalls. Only children sometimes feel too much pressure to succeed. They may have problems joining a group, and sometimes they suffer from their parents' protective hand.
You don't allow them to really experience any frustration or failure, which is really a disservice to the child, although the parent sees it as being something that they're doing for the child.
Hi, darling. Being an only child tends to run in the family. Andy's mother and grandmother, for instance, were both only children. Andy says she sees the advantages, especially when her friends argue with their brothers and sisters. But she also admits to moments of loneliness.
But I'm sort of jealous because they have somebody they can talk to when their parents aren't there, or they don't want their parents to know about something. And I don't have a person to talk to.
There's a difference in being an only child. It's not bad to be an only child or to have an only child. It's just different.
By the way, psychologists say if children in a family are spaced more than 5 years apart, then they can be considered only children.
Same as. You said that it tends to run in families. Why would that be?
One reason is they say that's the model you've seen before, so you tend to parent as you were parented. Also, only children tend to be very close with their parents. They're very loyal to them, so they tend to do things their way.
I see.
Well, remember last night we had this story where a couple had 9 children. So there's got to be the happy medium somewhere there, I think, between 1 and 9.
I would hope so.
Thank you, Terry.
Interesting. Thank you, Terry.
Up next, meteorologist Mike Anderson will take a look at the midweek weather.
We'll see if there's going to be any more rain on the way.
Dust, bacteria, mold, fungus, and pollen. These can cause respiratory problems. Air ducts can be a breeding ground for indoor pollutants. Watch this demonstration as dust, mold, and other household pollutants are safely removed by Air Care and Just Chimneys. Recommended by leading allergists, Air Care will clean and sanitize your heating and air conditioning system to reduce dust and pollen from your home or office. Isn't it time you enjoyed a cleaner and healthier environment? Call Air Care and Just Chimneys for a free inspection. 664-7470.
Get 'em up! Move 'em up! The Chevy Drive is on. From Detroit to Oklahoma, 3,600 cars and trucks are on the move to your Oklahoma Chevy dealers. We've been overstocked by Chevrolet with Corsicas, Berettas, Cavaliers, even the #1 selling truck in Oklahoma, the Chevy full-size. Everything must be sold by June 5th, so to move them out, we've got to price Chevys low. Like $59.95 plus 2.9% financing or up to $1,000 cash back. See your Oklahoma Chevy dealer now.
A super summer savings special from Ken's. It's our family supreme. Only $9.95 plus 2 kids salads free. Enjoy any large Ken's Supreme pizza and get 2 free Kids Garden Fresh salad bars, including fruit. Ask for the family supreme.
Summer shades, come to Ken's and get your summer shades $1 a pair when you buy 2 pair of them.
Hey, have it made in these shades. Just $2 for 2 pair.
Summer shades, Ken's summer shades.
Hi, I'm Sammy Pagna, here to remind you that there's ballroom dancing tonight and every Wednesday night at the Builders Association at 43rd Street in South Garnett. See you there.
What are your kids doing this summer? What new challenges are they facing to help them prepare for the future? This summer, why not let your kids go to YMCA Summer Camp? The challenges, fun, and learning experiences will last them a lifetime.
Mike Anderson joins us now, and before we went to that commercial break, Mike came up with one of his wonderful weather questions. We're all sitting on the edge of our seats to find out, and Glenda, that question was...
Which city had more rain in the month of June, Tulsa or Houston?
Well, normally more rain, and it's Tulsa, you're right. You know, a lot of people begin to think that Tulsa in June, summertime, it's a drier month. June, though, is actually our 2nd wettest month here, here in northeastern Oklahoma.
Well, great. That's something to look forward to.
So we get about 4.5 inches of rain normally in June. Houston only about 4 inches of rain, and it looks like we may start off June on a wet note. In fact, right now, Doppler 6 radar shows a lot of showers and light thunder showers across northeastern Oklahoma. Right now, Doppler 6 radar shows that line of showers stretching from the southeastern corner of Kansas back to the just northwest of Tulsa, then back down towards Oklahoma City and Edmond, then back north along I-35 to the Kansas border. Now, a better look to Tulsa shows some fairly heavy rains just to our northwest. Right now, the light to moderate rain shower stretching from just south of Bartlesville around Ramona, back down across southeastern Osage County, southeast of Hominy, then back down to Lake Keystone over towards Pawnee. All of this activity is moving to the northeast at about 25 miles an hour. We can see here in Tulsa no rain across the city. In fact, partly cloudy skies across much of the region. And as these storms move off to our northeast, we'll actually continue with dry weather here in the Tulsa region throughout much of the evening. Currently outside, we continue with very warm weather across the area. 86 degrees under partly cloudy skies. It's also very muggy. Relative humidity 53%. Pressure rising 29.99 inches. Wind still rather breezy out of the south, 21 miles an hour. But with the sunshine and south winds, temperatures warmed up, that should say 87 degrees after a morning low of 74. Our satellite picture shows mostly cloudy skies across much of western Oklahoma. The brighter white area, you can see where those rain showers were on Doppler 6 radar, clearly shows up on the satellite picture with the clouds stretching up into Missouri. Mostly sunny skies across southeastern Oklahoma, but some very heavy thunderstorms down across western Texas. In fact, severe thunderstorms being reported across the South Plains. Now, we are watching a cool front up to our north, stretching from Kansas City back down towards Gage and Amarillo. Temperatures quite chilly to the north of that front. 70 degrees in Dodge City, still in the mid-50s across northwestern Kansas, but south of the front, very warm and muggy weather. 86 degrees currently here in Tulsa, 88 in McAllister, 90 degrees on the hour in Fort Smith, 80 degrees in the state capital. Our national satellite picture shows that line of showers and thunderstorms stretching all the way from Mexico through western Texas, Oklahoma, back all the way up to the Great Lakes. Again, severe thunderstorms across western Texas right now. These storms also moving to the northeast, so we'll continue with a pretty good chance of rain across much of northeastern Oklahoma this evening, tonight, even through tomorrow and tomorrow night. Now, for the next 24 hours here in Tulsa, partly cloudy skies tonight, again in developing showers and thunderstorms later on tonight. For tomorrow, we will see a little sunshine peeking through, still a pretty good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures this evening will be on the warm side, 81 degrees at 8 o'clock this evening, dropping back down to 75 degrees by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, 80 at lunchtime, then back up to 84 degrees at 5 o'clock. The forecast for this evening, variable clouds. We will see some sunshine peeking through. Patches of rain right now to the west and northwest of Tulsa, gradually moving to the northeast. South winds, temperatures in the low 80s at 8 o'clock this evening. For tonight, we will see cloudy skies, scattered showers, a few embedded thunderstorms with these showers and thunderstorms, a nighttime low of 73 degrees. Then for tomorrow, well, a pretty good chance of rain and some heavy rains possible across the region. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, south winds, and afternoon highs slowly warming up to 84 degrees. Now, the extended forecast still calls for a slight chance of rain on Friday, 68 and 82. For the first day of the weekend, Saturday, partly cloudy skies, a few isolated thunderstorms, 65 and 84. Then for Sunday, looks like a gorgeous day with mostly sunny skies, a morning low of 66, warming back up to 86 degrees.
Looks like a little bit of something for everybody. While you were over there, Glenda was giving you the double thumbs up when you said all the rain.
Uh-oh. Well, you know, we've actually ended May off, if we don't get much rain this evening, below normal again. We're about an inch and a half below normal, so we are ready for more rain.
See?
Just what, if not the doctor, just what Glenda ordered.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Local politicians in Sweden have bowed to public pressure and canceled a cruise for some teenage lawbreakers. The 8 kids were to be sent on a 6-month Caribbean cruise with 3 social workers as chaperones and learn to sail a 53-foot boat. Welfare officials insisted the cruise would cost less than keeping the juvenile delinquents at home. Sweden's liberal penal system accents rehabilitation rather than punishment.
Wow, what a neat idea.
Robert, I think it's a crazy idea.
A cruise.
But I would probably be rehabilitated if I took it.
Absolutely. We need to try that. At least we should try that out here in the newsroom. We should go on a cruise and see if we feel better when we get back.
Misbehave.
Yes.
I bet we will.
I'm sure we will.
You know, there'll be no punishment if you fail our upcoming test. Okay, class, put your books away and take out a piece of paper. How many times have you heard that? It's time for a quiz. If you don't have a piece of paper, no problem. Coming up next, we'll take a stress test to find out how stressed you are.
This is new Hellman's cholesterol free.
Will I like it?
It has 0% cholesterol.
Will I like it?
It tastes 100% Hellman's.
I like it.
I knew you'd like it.
Mom would like it.
New Hellman's cholesterol free. A new way to bring out the best.
Homeland, come home to Homeland.
Come home to Homeland for a new crop of summer fruit from California. Fresh, tangy Bing cherries or juicy sweet peaches. Take your pick, just 99 cents a pound. Succulent cantaloupe, only 39 cents a pound. And luscious ripe strawberries, a low 59 cents a pint. Pick your favorite summer fruits, fresh from Homeland.
Homeland, the best a market can be. Homeland.
You wouldn't feed this baby grown-up food, so why feed it to this baby? Feed him puppy food. Purina Puppy Chow brand puppy food with the extra nutrition a growing puppy needs. Puppy Chow. Doesn't your baby deserve it?
How strong is Extra Strength Tums EX? Heartburn strikes, Tums strikes back. Heartburn's gone that fast. Tums EX, twice as strong, twice as fast as regular Rolaids.
It's too funny for words on the next win, lose, or draw, because Bert Convey's getting hip.
What it is?
Nothing ever bugs him.
Cockroaches, Bert.
I hear you.
With attitude.
And he's drawing with cool friends like Abby Dalton, Mark Summers, Philip Charles McKenzie, and Rosie O'Donnell, who's tough as nails.
When you killed my brother.
Our stars stand him up and knock him dead.
This is it.
On the next win, lose, or draw.
Weekdays at 6:30 on Channel 6.
If you were to guess just how stressed you are right now, your stress level might jump right off the chart. Well, let's find out. You can use a piece of paper to take the test, to keep track, or you can use your fingers. Just count how many times you answer yes to the following questions. Everybody ready? Okay, question number 1. Do you feel there's always too much to do and never enough time to do it? If your answer is yes, hold up one finger. Okay, question number 2. Do you find it anguishing to wait in line, get stuck in traffic, or deal with the inefficiencies of others? If yes is your answer, hold up another finger. You get the idea. Is it hard to call on close friends, family, and others when you need help? Is it difficult to discuss your feelings with others? Do you feel that you're bearing down too hard, but you don't know how to relax? Has job dissatisfaction, we're having some problems with this, been a problem for you lately? Question number 7, do you have trouble recognizing or preparing for situations that are likely to be stressful for you? Have you found yourself preoccupied or forgetful lately? Where are we? Do you frequently have physical symptoms? I must be preoccupied. Do you frequently have physical symptoms such as headaches, heart palpitations, an upset stomach, or bite your nails? Finally, the last question. Instead of making a decision, do you hope that your problems will just go away? Okay, take a look at your fingers. If you're holding up more than 2, you might think about doing something about your stress level. Joining me now to talk about stress management is Allison Lee, the Director of Education at Springer Clinic. Incidentally, Springer provided the stress test we just took. Ms. Lee, should we be stressed even more if we have more than 2 fingers held up?
Anyone can have 1 or 2 answers in the positive category. We all react slightly differently to stress levels. But if you have more than 2, you might consider taking some steps to reduce that stress.
Like what? Quick, give us some help. What do we do about it?
The first thing to do is identify the source of your stress. We all, as I mentioned, react differently to stress, so the sources of the... I'm sorry, with the what?
You're doing fine. Just keep going, ma'am.
The sources of stress reduction would be different for each of us, too. They would be something like exercise, or could be relaxation tapes, could be relaxation exercises by themselves. It could be a group activity. It could be just discussing the stress with your friends and your relatives.
Right. We know that stress can lead to physical problems in many instances. What are ways we can, how do we know when our bodies are telling us that we're stressed? How does stress manifest itself?
There are many different physical signs and symptoms. They can be things we mentioned, like biting your nails. They can be heart palpitations. They can be skin rashes. They can be all kinds of more serious things, hypertension.
Springer Clinic has a one-day stress management seminar coming up next month. Can you tell us a little about what we'll be learning during that seminar?
Yes, the first thing that will be done is a stress quiz. It will be certainly more extensive than this. It will go through testing stress in 21 different areas of your life. Since everyone manages stress differently, we have people that
We'll do well in some areas, poorly in others. We'll identify the problem areas, help you figure out why you're doing well in the areas that you are coping, and help you transfer those skills over to the problem areas.
What does it cost? And quickly, what do we do if we want more information?
The cost of the course is $75. That includes all the materials and the relaxation techniques, exercises, the stress test that we mentioned.
Good.
And the education department would have more information for you.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Miss Lee. Springer Clinic, later on this week or this month. So how are you doing? How many fingers?
Well,
4?
I had 4.5.
More than 2?
4.5, yes. I suppose it doesn't matter what you get over
The
2.
important thing is to do something about it. Talk to somebody or get some exercise. Just
And to realize that you have a problem in that area.
Thank you,
Good.
Wendy.
Thanks, Wendy. Well, new steps were taken today to make Tulsa more beautiful.
Up next, Tulsa's future takes root.
I want some new crayons and a new dress like Judy.
Because Hardee's knows what it costs these days to keep a kid happy.
I wish I had a pony and a new bike.
We happily announce a kid-pleasing offer that only costs $1.
And I want to go out to eat with Daddy.
Bring your special ones to Hardee's, and they get our regular hamburger, fries, and drink for just $1. After all, every little bit helps.
And I want to go to college, Ivy League.
At Hardee's, kids eat for $1 because we're out to win you over.
This is the farewell tour of Gunther Gable Williams. Unrivaled entertainment in the grand tradition of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. The greatest show on earth.
Coming to the Tulsa Convention Center June 15th through 17th. Get your tickets today at the Convention Center box office and all Carson Attractions locations.
Look at all these recliners. Your choice, $249 at Evans. From famous manufacturers like Benchcraft, Catnapper, and yes, even Barcalounger. All styles and colors, and they're all just $249. Nobody in Tulsa has a bigger selection, plus free delivery. We've just taken inventory and found way too much merchandise, so an immediate inventory reduction is necessary. We sell more furniture than anyone in Tulsa at 36 and South Sheridan. Evans.
I think the people at Sooner Federal are so friendly and interested in their customers, and that's important. When I go into my Sooner Federal, they always say, "Hello, it's good to see you again." Sooner Federal makes me feel like I am an important person. I feel I can trust Sooner Federal with the money I have invested with them. Sooner Federal has integrity.
Clayton's here with a look at what's coming up tonight at 6 on the news. Clayton.
Thank you, Robert. Yesterday, it looked like a sure thing. But today, Governor Bellman has decided enterprise zones would actually be bad for Oklahoma's economy. Brett Shipp will have a report at 6. A leak even the little Dutch boy couldn't keep filled up. Rick Peterson explains the smelly mess out on 151st Street. And you might still be able to get your kicks on Route 66. Some Oklahomans are paving the way to make that old road an historic highway. Join us for these stories and more tonight at 6.
Thank you, Clayton. Today was the first day of planting at Tulsa's new city-county tree farm. 1,000 seedlings were put into the ground with the hope that 3 years from now, they'll be harvested to beautify Tulsa.
Tree planting is somehow always happy work. But this crew felt especially proud to be putting in the first seedlings on the first acre of Tulsa's new city-county tree farm. It's an outgrowth of the city's ongoing reforestation project to assess and replant Tulsa's urban forest. 3 years from now, when these seedlings have 2-inch trunks, they're on to bigger and better things.
Right now we're planting 1 acre of trees, expanding it to 5 acres over the next 5 years. And what we end up having will be a 1 year. Every year we'll harvest 1,000 trees to go into the park system. Once the park system is full, then we'll start on the city and county right-of-ways.
The farm will grow native species of trees such as hickory, green ash, and native pecan. The Tulsa Irrigation Association, owners of local sprinkling companies, donated an irrigation system. And the program is receiving a big boost from Tulsa Junior College.
At the Northeast Campus, through Jim Bowman, is collecting native tree seeds each fall and winter, and through their propagation class are raising those seedlings as you see now, and then they're donating them to the Urban Forestry Program.
Startup funds for the farm came from the Tulsa Tribune and River Park's public fund drive. It will take $7,000 a year to keep planting, and it's not known yet where that money will come from. Supporters hope their excitement on this day will take root.
We've had it on paper, but to finally actually see it in the ground is something, you know, that's really hard to explain. It's just almost ecstatic.
Oh, I think about what it's going to look like in 20 years. Hopefully it'll be something like that.
Most people have difficulties looking past tomorrow, as in Thursday, and in order to really do this productively, you've got to look 20, 30 years in the future. So right now, I see Tulsa's future going in the ground.
I think it's neat. I like being a part of it. I'd be making history here.
And they are making history.
Yes, they are. It's always good to hear them talking about planning for the future, and in this case, planting for the future.
I can't think of anything more important.
It's neat. We need to watch those trees throughout the years as well.
It certainly will.
Well, that's our report for this Wednesday. Thanks for making us a part of your day. I'll see you back here tomorrow.
The CBS Evening News is just ahead, and I'll be back here at 6. Until then, have a good evening.
I will resign as Speaker of the House, effective upon the election of my successor. God bless this institution. God bless the United States.
House Speaker Jim Wright calling it quits under the dome, under a cloud. This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Good evening. Speaker of the House Jim Wright of Texas announced late today he is resigning. He becomes the first speaker in U.S. history to resign in midterm amid questions about his judgment and conduct. Wright will also give up his House seat. His announcement came in an impassioned defense of his record and his integrity.